Dr. Steve, master of the subconscious mind and doctor who fixes 100% of orthopedic issues not related to cancer, fracture, or infection. And let's cover thyroid today. Many people have sluggish thyroids or maybe even Hashimoto's. And so Hashimoto's is a thyroid condition that is autoimmune. And this problem is very easy to solve. It's just hormonal dysregulation. The number one reason being is polyunsaturated fatty acids, because what they do is they lower hepcidin in the liver, creating unbound iron that causes oxidation. Your glucose doesn't convert to pyruvate, and then all of a sudden we don't make ATP, we don't make energy, and it slows the thyroid. It crashes the adrenals, right? So it's the HPTA axis. So that's slowing that. Now there is emotional issues along with that, because when we talk about that, we have to look at the liver, and the liver holds on to resentment and frustration and anger. And we also have to look at the adrenal function, which is lost and not sure. Abandonment issues, those are going on with the adrenals. But oftentimes the big sole culprit is these polyunsaturated fatty acids. But let's not just target those. Let's look at saturated fat too, because if you're eating a keto diet and your saturated fat is high, there's palmitic acid. And if you have a genetic variant, palmitic acid might be the reason, because it acts very similar and does a has a similar action to what these polyunsaturated fatty acids do. So that's why we keep our saturated fat below 30% of our caloric intake. Now, the other factor that could be going on here, and this isn't just slow thyroid or low or high TSH and low T3, right? Or T4 has to convert to T3 in the liver, right? And we can look at that. But the big thing with autoimmune is it deals with the emotion of self-hatred. And that's there, but it's coming from peroxynitrate. And so when we look at that, we have the tight junctions in the gut, right? And those tight junctions that are in the gut are signaled by zonulin, right? And histamine is a signal of that. So if you have high histamine levels, we have to look at what's really going on with that. And then again, we go back to the liver and we go back to, what's causing that copper iron dysregulation, which a lot of times is proof for high palmitic acid. But let's go back to the self-hatred part, because the self-hatred is the body attacking itself, and that's the emotional component behind that. So we have to look at that component when we're looking at all autoimmune diseases, because what are the traits that are within you that you dislike about yourself? You're telling yourself you're not good enough, or there's nobody out there for me, or why I always attract this type of person, or I'll never achieve that financial success, I'll never get my dream home. Whatever it is that you don't like about yourself, and you can't respect yourself or honor yourself, or whatever that is, that could be the underlying cause of that. But peroxynitrate comes oftentimes from high amounts of ammonia, and the ammonia is coming from too much protein or too much fat, right? So there's that component of it. So when we look at what's going on with thyroid function, we have to look at our emotions and how they're signaling our epigenetic expressions in our DNA. And then we have to also look at the foods that we're eating, because the stuff that's in the store that you're buying in boxes and cans, it's ready to eat and available to us in the restaurants, because they're all cooking with the seed oils. You have to look at what you're putting in your body. These are the actions, right? You can overcome the emotional things, and they're actually much harder when you're eating these toxic foods, because they're affecting your chemistry in your body, and your body is the biggest manufacturer of chemicals, more than pharmaceuticals. You are not chemical, or you are not drug deficient or chemical deficient at all. You are nutrient deficient